here I am at it again, and as promised in yesterday's video, I am going to be doing an overview on the bestest effects processing pedal ever, or at least my personal favorite, the Valeton GP 100. And I gotta say, this pedal is awesome for Linux. It is fully USB compliant. Therefore, you can connect this to all of your audio processing software on Linux, and the kernel itself will recognize this as a stereo USB device, and then Audacity, OBS, any digital recording software you wish to use, this will work beautifully with it. If you point your web browser to valeton.net, to their GP100 place, you can go to the support page where you can download a user manual for this and the software. And I just want to show you how easy it is to install the software, and then I'll show it in use. All right, so let's go ahead and open up a terminal here and change directly to where I downloaded it. All right, and then we'll just tell Wine. And of course, I've installed the latest version of Wine. All right, you don't necessarily have to have the latest version, though. You do, however, need to make sure that the proper dependency is installed. I know the installer will offer to install the VC runtimes, as you'll see in the demonstration here. Okay, and that is GP dash, and I'm just going to press tab, and it'll complete that. And of course, it's going to create a new Wine directory. And by the way, I deleted my own Wine directory because I wanted to be able to demonstrate the installation procedure. It's really easy. All right, and then of course it's going to ask you to pick a language. All right, and then we're going to proceed. Of course, you agree to the license agreement, tell it where you want it to go. I do not wish to create shortcuts because I've actually made a shortcut up on my panel, and it's just a basic instruction telling Wine what exe to run, so it's very simple. Install. Okay, then it will prompt you to install the C++ runtime from Microsoft Visual C++. Agree and install. It's going to give us an error, but you can safely ignore it. It's saying X800, 700, whatever module not found. But you know what? The software still works. I know, because I use it every day. So, okay, it asks you if you want to restart the computer. Yeah, I'd like to see Wine really try to restart. Okay, restart my computer while I'm using OBS. Go ahead, please, please, do it, do it, do it. Well, I guess it didn't, did it? All right, well, let me, before we launch the software and make sure everything is connected here, let's go ahead and close this. And I'll quickly show you my launcher that I have here. I'm going to right-click on this and go to Properties. Okay, and then when I go in to edit this, all right, let me put the cursor here, and I'll just page through this nice and slow for you guys. Basically, you're just telling it where the environment or the Wine prefix is for this. In my case, it's the default home slash Spatry slash Wine, which is the Wine directory. And then you're telling Wine to run C program files, Valeton GP100, GP100 exe. Very simple, very easy. All right, and of course these little, because there's a lot of spaces in here, you got the 2 backslashes in here in this line. Okay, all right, so you just have a line like that. You also define where the working directory is for this, which is in homespatry.wine, DOS devices, C program files, Valeton GP100. Okay, so having a nice little shortcut works. Of course, you could have also had the software put a shortcut on your desktop if that's what you want. I don't like icons on my desktop, what can I say? So I'm going to cancel that because I already know that the shortcut works. So we will now launch the software for its first time. Now, something I want to out with this is we're not going to be able to hear the drum machine on this software because of the fact that when I'm using the line out for this, it will not let you use the drums, and the only way to hear them is with my headphones connected through the line out on this unit. Moreover, there's a little bit of lag I've noticed with OBS Studio. If this software is launched after OBS Studio is launched or while recording, there will be some lag with that. The first time you launch the software, it is going to basically explain to you what each of these are, whether you want to turn on the stomp mode on this, which is the little foot switches that you have here, and you can assign the left and the right buttons on the pedal to use stomp mode if you want to, such as like turning on distortion or even turning on more than one special effect. So you can have multiple effects on each stomp pedal. And of course, pressing both of the pedals gives you the guitar tuner, which is absolutely amazing. I love the guitar tuner on this unit. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate it in use. There's a section for drums, your global settings and master volume, and other little settings as we will examine as we work through this. Okay, so you just go ahead and press skip here, and that'll get rid of it and you'll never see it again. And of course it opens up the last patch that I had open, in my case, the Eddie Van Halen lead. I'm going to pause the video a moment while I make a quick adjustment, and then we'll continue. Alright, adjustments have been done. Basically, when monitoring this software through my headset, I need to run the software before I run OBS Studio and then start the recording. Otherwise, there's a lot of lag with this. But to avoid that, what you would do is you'd plug your headphones into the headphone output jack on the pedal itself. The only caveat to running this through the computer and monitoring is I can't demonstrate the drum machine on this thing. I would have to actually run a line out for that. And I'm not going to go through that hassle today. Just rest assured, it's got a pretty decent drum machine, but I've definitely heard better, especially in the ToneLib GFX. That one beats the Valeton pedal in terms of the sound of their drum effects, but it's sufficient for my needs in that, the drums are good enough for the little tiny speaker that I keep in my guitar case and that sort of thing. Some of you may also be interested in the types of picks that I use, so I figured why not give a quick mention to that. First, for playing leads, I use the Dunlap jazz style guitar pick. I know this is I know this may be a little bit hard for you guys to see, but that's the style pick that I use. I also I've been using these since I was a teenager, and these of course are the shark fins. And these have three surfaces. They have a ridged surface to give your chords a little bit more bite, and then a regular plectrum style surface, and then a pointed surface for doing leads and pinch harmonics. So I kind of like that, and then for playing chords too. So I love that, like that little ridge. But again, this pick here, the jazz pick, is great for doing leads. So I have two different styles, and now I finally got me one of these little doohickeys on the guitar body that I can easily slip my picks out instead of having to, use tape to tape picks down and that sort of thing. Okay, digression is over with. Let's get on with the pedal. All right, this pedal has, I believe, 100 factory patches with this. Yep, and then 100 user patches. Now, as stated in a previous video, I really don't like so much, mucking about with, setting up effects and that sort of thing, which is something this does very well. You can drag these pedals and place them in any order that you want, and by doing so, you can really change the sound of these effects, okay? Moreover, let me cancel that. All right, you can go into the user patches here, and you can load some, and in this case I was using the Eddie Van Halen lead style effect, and this one comes from Chop Tones. Okay, I will have a link in the description where you can visit the Chop Tones webpage and get more information, because he makes special effects for other pedals besides just this one, and they all sound pretty good. But when I heard his metal tones, I was like, I love the sound, and they're all really good, and I've actually loaded them, but I'm actually going to do a demonstration here so you can get an idea of how to load those particular things. So for instance, let's say you want to have a custom cabinet, and of course I have a website up in one of the previous videos in the series where I showed where you can get a lot of really good where you could get some really good cabinet sounds that will change the guitar effects, and you can load them here just by selecting import IR file, and then the position that you want them. In this case, this will hold 20 of them. Okay, so I'm just going to select the first position and then navigate to where that is, and then I'll go into my download directory, Valeton, in the metal pack, IR, and then I'm going to select this particular cabinet here and open it. And then load that up. It loads it in, zip bada boom, and then it is ready right here in the spot. And actually I just reloaded it above the one that was already there. But this is just for demonstration purposes only. Okay, now moving right along, we can also import right here. Okay, and we can select a patch file with the preset. Select OK. Navigate to where you have those files, in my case in downloads. And then in Valeton, the metal pack, patches, and then here they are. Okay, and I can pick which one that I want and load it. I'm not going to do that because I already have these loaded in here. I just want you to basically see how they're set up here. All right, cancel that. And then I have all these in here already, the fried, and then these sounds are absolutely amazing, though. It only came with one clean one, but I was able to make a few off of the one clean tone that was provided, and just did some fun things with the effects. So, yeah, fun stuff indeed. Let's audition some of these effects here. And that's just the rhythm one, and then it has a lead accompaniment with it. And then I took their clean tone and decided to put an octaver in with it. So you can hear some highs and some lows. Gotta love it. So I loved his little effects that were included in there. Let's also check out some of these factory patches that it has. This is the default one that it originally came with, and of course I wouldn't mess with any of these. Kind of okay, but you know, I like a little bit more grind with my sound. But as you can hear, you know, there are a lot of really cool effects that are built into this, so you can get a sound for pretty much anything that you want. Okay, this one says best solo. Let's see what this sounds like. Kind of okay, but like I said, I like a little bit more punch. This is their heavy metal sound. You could hear the ones I had before that were a little bit tougher. I can also use the pedal itself to switch through the effects as well here, so I don't have to click on it with my mouse. The 80s riff sounds pretty cool, I think. And I mean, I'm a crappy guitar player, and this thing makes me sound good. Yeah, pretty bad when I need a pedal to make me sound good because my technique is as sloppy as it gets. Oh well, it is what it is, right? That sounds kind of watery. Well, it's got a little bit of wah-wah in there. And, you know, as stated, you know, you can add your own cabinet sounds. So we've got this little effect going here. Why don't we pick another one, though? Something a little bit more, so I can demonstrate the cabinets. All right, here we go. We can demonstrate the cabinet sounds on this. So why don't we go into the cabinet effect here? All right, you can turn it off, and then this is what it sounds like without the cabinet effect. All right, well, that's still not bad, but you know, when we turn the cabinet effect on, I've loaded 20 different cabinets into this thing. Why don't we choose the PB cabinet to see what the sound is like? Gives it a completely different sound, you know, with all the different cabinet emulations that are available. You know what? And I'll put a link to that page too in the description below, where you can get some cabinet sounds that you can load in, and you could use these with any effects processor that accepts IRs. So let's see what this sounds like through a Marshall stack. Not bad, but there are other Marshalls that I've collected here. And a 1960s Marshall. So there's so much you can do with these effects that they have on here, and you can save them, and that sort of thing. The possibilities are endless with this pedal. And one thing I did notice, though, when using the user interface on the pedal itself, you didn't have as fine control. So, like for instance, in the preamp, depending on what it is you had set up, I think in the AC simulator, okay, it didn't give you quite as many options to tinker and toy with on this. So you only had one, I think it only had one for tone. I could be wrong on there. But it wasn't quite as robust as what you have set up here by using the software. So this is the preferred method for setting up the pedal, because obviously when you're taking the pedal with you to gig or something like that, you really don't have time to go messing about with setting up the additional things. Now, one thing when you turn stomp mode on, in this section here, you can define what it is that you're doing. So let's say we got the preamp here. You can actually set this to turn the preamp on when the pedal, and it will switch the mode. So when I press this, see, the preamp turns on and the distortion turns off. So it's like toggling two different things when in stomp mode. And then of course the other pedal that I have here, this turns off, and this turns off both the delay and the reverb. Okay, and you can define however you want that to be. So maybe if I want to turn on the mod and then kill the delay and reverb, this is what will happen when I press that pedal. See that? So the second pedal, now the mod is on, but the delay and reverb are off. Okay, pretty neat stuff. I'd never seen a pedal do that before. Usually you would only be able to turn one effect off or on. So it's amazing to see how the technology has progressed over the years. And it's been a good 10 years since I played the guitar, and to see how things progressed in that amount of time, I was like blown away. So amazing stuff there. You also have an option here for exporting settings. So you can export all of the settings that you have on the pedal, or just one at a time. As stated, you also have the drum machine. Unfortunately, we can't audition its sound here because it doesn't play through the audio interface. I'm seeing on the pedal that it would be on, so if I had my headphones hooked up to the pedal, I would be able to hear it, but that's not the case. Another really cool thing about this is each individual patch that you have here, I'm going to cancel that. but each individual patch can have its own volume. Okay, so in the match fusion here, you'll see the volume is set to this, whereas with a clean, you have the volume set a little bit higher. I think that's a really neat feature. So, and that's one thing that I've kind of done with my custom presets here in the user patch, where I purchased the chop tones effects and went in and kind of modified them to suit my needs. I went in there and changed them so that, you know, when I'm playing a clean sound and then decide to switch to a metal sound, that the metal sound isn't really too overpowering. So I have a consistent volume level when switching from my acoustic simulator to a metal tone, and that to me is kind of important, especially when you're, you know, transitioning your sounds on your musical instrument to get a different feel throughout the musical pieces that you're playing. So at any rate, I'm not sure what else to say on this pedal other than if you are a guitarist or even a bass player, yes, I forgot to mention you bass players out there. In the list here, there are also bass presets, and you'll see them right here under the style here. It's saying for bass players. So you have a bunch of styles that are available just for bass players. So you can also connect your bass guitar to this and do all kinds of special effects just for your bass. So you know, if you want a nice little bit of distortion or echo or any kind of effects to, you know, give your bass a little bit more presence, this is the pedal to get for sure. So awesome sauce indeed. I love it, and as stated, this is clearly the better choice for me personally. I like this a lot better than the software options that I've demonstrated previously. But I still want to have that option available anyway. I know the ToneLib GFX, that has an awesome drum machine on it, and I would definitely use that in a live setting if needed. So absolutely, I would use that in conjunction with this, maybe for some things, and then maybe use the and then of course using this through jack is also an option too. So, you know, it's always good to have, you know, a few different it's always good to have some different choices, you know, musically for performing. So, at any rate, the Valeton GP 100, awesome stuff. So, if you're a Linux user and you're looking for something on a budget, this is the pedal to get for sure. All right, that's all I have in today's episode. I'm not sure what I'm going to be covering next on guitars and Linux. How far can we go with this? I don't know. Give me some suggestions. Is there something you want to see? Let me know. I'm sure the next episode in this series will be equally exciting. At least I hope. So until next time, a little bit of love goes a very, very long way. So please be sure to take some of your time and be excellent with somebody today. Until next time, my friends, peace out.